Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the real United States, and welcome to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. We're here in downtown Washington, D.C. again, and we've decided to bring you here to show you one of the plethora of monuments and memorials here in the Washington, D.C. area. Now, this one is a little different. It's not for a historic figure, and it's a little more subdued than a lot of the ones that you may see here. Most, if not all of you, are familiar with some of the gigantic monuments in downtown in the National Mall. The classic one, of course, being the Lincoln Memorial. This, however, is a monument to fallen officers. It's very short, it's very subdued, it's very lovely, very peaceful and appropriate. But it's different stylistically than many of the monuments you see down in the National Mall. Now, we are actually sandwiched around between a couple of the federal courthouses. The Federal Court of Appeals is across the street from us. Now, this has two walls that run around the periphery. It's kind of oval shaped. We have a 3-acre park here, so that makes it roughly 130,000 square feet park, with two 304-foot long blue-gray marble walls designed by designer Davis Buckley, incidentally. And on these walls are inscribed the names of more than 20,000 law enforcement officers that have fallen in the line of duty. But that number's growing. Not only the number of officers that are lost, but the number of officers that are inscribed here. They add to this list every year. So I don't know at what point they'll run out of room or how they'll deal with that, but I understand that they do add names to this memorial wall every year. Now, on the ends of both of these curved marble walls are these beautiful bronze lionesses on this end, and male lions on the other end, and the lionesses overlooking their cubs. When I first saw this, I was really quite taken. They're really beautiful sculptures. They're not real detailed, but they are very beautiful sculptures. Sculpture, incidentally, the designer of these, Raymond Caskey. For those of you, again, that are interested in some of the more fine details of this. But this whole place is made out of granite and marble. There's a beautiful fountain here in the middle. We're going to take you around. We're going to show you a little bit of it, which is, again, I want you to notice that it's very subdued. Now, one of the things you may notice here is that the entire wall on both sides, these curved walls, have been festooned with wreaths commemorating the officers that have fallen. These, I'm not sure who exactly placed these here, if they were individual departments, because not too long ago, we had National Police Week. This is a federally proclaimed, I guess you'd say, occurrence every year here in the United States. And there's a whole series of memorial services and different sorts of activities to remember our fallen officers. So I'd like to take you now and show you a little bit just through here. I understand, in excess, for this 3 acres, and it doesn't really look like it, but there are in excess of 60,000 plants planted here in addition to everything else, and over 128 trees. So there is some nice shade cover. I don't have the good fortune to be in it at this moment, but there is some nice shade cover. It's a very peaceful, lovely place. And people often come here, much like some of the other memorials, the Vietnam Memorial, make rubbings on the wall of the names of loved ones they've lost. It's quite touching. Not many people here. It's a Sunday. There's some other activities here in the district that are attracting most people, but there are a few people coming through the park right now. So let's take a look around, okay? Now, as I had mentioned, on the other side of the park, or other end of the park, at the end of this 304-foot curved marble wall, are the male lions. And you can see that it's a bigger than life representation of a male lion. Beautiful, beautiful bronze statue, and very nicely done. Again, there it's not the real smooth detail you'd expect in some bronze. It has some texture lines to it. It's at the artist's discretion. Sorry about that. And but it's really quite a lovely work, and it's big. And on this end also are a pair of cubs that the male lion is looking over. So Bev's going to get you a view of the inscription here that's on the wall and give you a little look around. Now, as I've mentioned in other episodes, parking in downtown Washington, D.C. has had a premium. Fortunately, if you do want to come and see the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial, it is directly on top of a train station for the Washington Metro. You see here, this is the Judiciary Square, I can't say that 5 times fast, stop from the red line of the Washington Metro. And the service escalators come up literally right here at the edge of the park, right in the middle of the park. Now, there are also 2 elevators that are around by this pergola, this sort of structure in the middle, that come up from the station if you want to use an elevator, if you have some cause to use an elevator. So that's also really nice. And you see the Washington Metro M on the side of that. These will take you right to and from the train station for Washington Metro. Across the street, incidentally, is the National Building Museum. There's not a great deal in there, from what I understand. It's mostly just the building. But maybe in a future episode we'll get in there. But it is a beautiful, beautiful structure to have. Very nice part of the city, very, very picturesque. Now, before we go, I want to show you the very center of this oval, the insignia that they have here for designating this memorial. So here, directly in the middle of the park, in the middle of these 2 oval walls, is the insignia for the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. This is a solid bronze escutcheon set into this mosaic of marble and pink granite, and it has the name around the outside and the ivy leaves. In the center here, you'll see the shield, typical of law enforcement, and a single rose laid across the shield. And this thing is probably 4 to 4.5 feet in diameter. It's a very large chunk of bronze. So you can see they've gone to a great deal of detail, and you can see some of this mosaic around. Now, what we can't show you because it's light out, but these round spots you see here on the ground in the stone are cutouts that have lights, so that this whole area is lit from below after dark. I'm sure that's a very lovely setting here at night. Over the last several years, a lot of our viewers have made an issue about the fact that the Americans seem to fly their flag everywhere, and that is true. We are very, very much into displaying our flag everywhere, at our homes, at our businesses, at government buildings, at post offices, you name it. So obviously it should not be any surprise that we have an American flag here flown at the National Law Enforcement Memorial. And you'll notice also that there are 2 flags. The flag on my right, your left, is actually the flag of this insignia or seal of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. They have their own design, which is the same design that we saw in the escutcheon in bronze that's in the center of the park. And so
that is also flown here all of the time along next to our national flag. So yeah, we do love flags here in the United States, and obviously in something as important as this, there will be a United States flag. So I just thought that that might be something that, you know, I have noticed from my viewers' comments that they're surprised how much the Americans fly the flag here, and it has since caught my attention, and I've paid more attention to the national flag here in the United States and how much we really do fly it.
So I'd like to thank you for joining us here in the real United States at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. I hope you've enjoyed this visit to the monument to our fallen officers here in the United States. We hope you'll pick subscribe and come along for the adventure if you haven't already, of course. And if you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. If you would please, we'd enjoy it if you'd share this video with your friends and spread it around. That would help us out a great deal. And as always, thank you for watching.